Hey, welcome to Credit Makes Sense with Netiva, the Frugal CrediTnista, where we tackle your questions about money, credit, and everything in between. Super excited to be here with you guys today as we talk about the government shutdown and help one of our partners who is being affected by it. If you haven't shared, liked, subscribed, do so now. If you're not familiar with me, again, I'm Netiva, the Frugal CrediTnista. I own MNH Financial Services, where we help women and couples over 30 to create custom credit solutions so they can crush their financial goals. I also own the bomb.com financial empowerment school, Credit on Fire Academy, where we teach our members how to master their money, destroy their debts, and soar their credit scores. And I run the epic, amazing, our question today actually comes from our Facebook community, Credit Makes Sense, where we talk all things finance, from investing to credit to budgeting. And it's really a supportive community just to help us up level to that next level, sharing our resources and advice and all of that good stuff. So let me read the question that I have today. I like to read it verbatim as usual. Hi, Netiva. I am a federal worker and I actually have to go into work every day, 5 days a week, and not get paid. Everybody's cranky, everybody's pissed off, and I just don't know what to do anymore. I spend $35 a week to get to and from work. I've now missed my first paycheck. I'm wondering about rent. I'm wondering about car note, but I still have to go to work. I'm a single mom of four kids, and I literally just don't know what to do. February 1st, rent is coming up, car note is coming up, insurance is coming up, bills are coming up, and every single day we have to eat. My emergency fund is dwindling, and I don't have as much flexibility with my time for a side hustle as some of my federal worker colleagues because I'm at work every day. Help. All right. Partners, this is one where I want you to offer your advice in the comments as well so we can legitimately help our partner out. So one of the things that I've been talking about some of our partners who are affected by the government shutdown is really creating a budget. Like if you didn't have a budget before, you need to create one now. And it's not exactly, I know people are like, there's no money to budget. What are you talking about, Netiva? However, you still got bills and you still got expenses that need to be covered. And your landlord, the mortgage company, and any other creditor that you're working with still want their money. And so you need to create, I was going to say in shit the fan budget, but this is essentially I guess the more technical term is a financial baseline budget. Okay, that's one thing that a lot of people, including the budgetnista, my girl, the budgetnista, always talks about, a financial baseline. And it's basically like it's a look at your essential expenses. Okay, so that's your rent or mortgage, your utilities, your essential debt stuff, your essential debts, and food. What do I mean by essential debts? Child support, alimony. Some of my partners do actually have to pay that. Mortgage is a debt of where you're living at. Your car loan, if, like you said, you still have to go back and forth to work. So that's your baseline. And then there's going to be some stuff that are going to get fired, okay? Like some things that you just can't do. If you got to cancel cable for a while, if you have to not get your hair and your nails done, I mean, I'm sure it's not that many people at your job, so you looking good and all dolled up is not the priority right now, so that may have to get cut. So it's about firing expenses, and it's about figuring out what your financial baseline is. What do I need to make in order to be able to cover our need-based expenses? That's essentially what you're doing. Number two, I would get a list of resources for help. And the reason why I say that is because, you know, when I heard Trump on the news, he was like, hey, this can last for months or even years. And he was acting like it's not a big deal. But you as a worker are feeling it. And it's very much so a big deal. So now that we know that he's willing to drag this out until he gets some funds for his wall, that means you want to have to plan out for assistance that you may need from the state and federal benefit and assistance programs, and also friends and family. So start making a list of resources now. Who would you go for assistance on a personal level? What agencies are out there from a state and federal level? I know on Benefits.gov, they have like over 1,200 assistance programs that are still funded and available to you on a local level. So definitely go on Benefits.gov to check that out. Number three, you want to communicate with your creditors. You want to do this before you are late, before you have more assistance. You get more assistance when you do so before you are late. So do it now. I know that there are some creditors that are now, so I saw this in the New York Times, that they're working with or have special programs for furloughed workers, and even those who still have to work. And that's Chase, American Express. I know there was Wells Fargo on there, and I believe it was Discover. But even then, Normally, companies have hardship programs anyway, as long as you communicate with them before you're late. And then like after you're late, your choices start to minimize. So that's why I'm telling you to communicate now, okay? And you want to find out what option, if they have something available for furloughed employees, because they know what's going on, right? So I'm sure they're getting and preparing for the amount of phone calls that are going to start coming in. So you want to be proactive and call them now. You want to ask them about it. If they don't have any programs for furloughed, like if you call some of those subprime people like Santander, I doubt if they would have a program, but they might have something for short-term assistance, hardships type things. So you may want to go for that. Student loans are going to be super accommodating. Your mortgage company and most non-subprime car loan companies are going to be super accommodating as well. Credit card companies always have hardship programs. You can be proactive and get them. So make sure you do that and have some. Now, for the food, I don't know if you guys know, I say this quite a lot of times, that food is like our second or maybe third largest expense after our living expenses, so rent or mortgage, and if you have a kid, daycare. So it's food. And a lot of people say that, you know, that's our biggest thing to cut or easiest thing to cut, but it's also one of our major expenses. So if you can get some assistance. Eating America has like a food bank locator. And, you know, I heard one of my partners saying that they eating canned food and frozen stuff, but if they got a food bank with some food in there that your family needs, I would definitely go that. You are a single mom, so the time for, you know, feeling embarrassed or not really wanting to be associated with that, that's dead. That's dead. You got to do what you got to do to accommodate or to provide for you and your family, especially since you still have to go in and be in a job that's not paying you. It's nothing to live in a job, it's another thing you have been paid for in order to make ends meet. So you probably won't love it that long. There's some kind of in my state. So definitely go to the food bank. 211, I believe their website is 211.org, and they have a list of different social services that are available. So this is part of your list, but this is you preparing as well. And then I would still be thinking of ways to make more money. I am always thinking of ways to make more money. Even being a business owner, when I was working in corporate America, like I am always thinking of ways to make more money. You didn't mention that you had an emergency fund. Since you said things are getting rough and you were able to pay, so most people got paid on the 31st with the federal government. So then let me know if you had an emergency fund or not. You know, let me know how your credit is. So I'm just assuming that all of those are out the window. You don't want to touch them. So there still has to be ways to make at least something during the time that you are at home. And so there are a plethora of different side hustles available out there. We actually got a full list going on inside of my Credit Makes Sense community. And if you're a wealth creator inside of my Credit on Fire Academy, then if you go to the Fire Your Debts course, there is a whole list of different side hustles available for you. You have kids class, you have the how to be a VA course available as well. So make sure you go there. There is a website that I really like. And then, you know, some people mentioned they were delivering pizzas and Ubering and, you know, some guests in Airbnb. Kendra did that. And then there's also websites that I really like. There's a plethora of them, but the ones off the top of my head are 1099mom.com, I believe it is 1099mom.com. In addition to Side Hustle, I believe it's spelled HUSL.com. I love how they organize the information, but there's a plethora of them. If you are, if you at least have, I would say about an hour or two after work, and I will put that in promotion. Couponing is another thing to further reduce costs. I mean, there's just a plethora of information. I'm leaving a link inside of my community so that you can go ahead and join us and see that post. Everybody is just putting all types of ideas, translation, how to get started with that in order to just start creating more income so that the pinch isn't as devastating. Now, I don't know if you're eligible for unemployment, but I would definitely cease. Like I said, I haven't spoken with anybody yet that is still working but not getting paid. I would assume since you're not getting paid, you're eligible. One of my clients is actually a contractor from the government. They are not eligible because they're a contractor. So we're working on some other side hustles and getting prepared to get some more side contracts outside of the government. So I would definitely go that route as well so you can start getting some income in. So I'm excited to see the comments of some of our other prosperity partners who are going to just be bombarding you with other suggestions in order to get you going. You definitely have my prayers. I don't know if I can speak what you're doing as well as you seem like you are doing, going to work, you love your job, you're definitely, know that the shutdown is temporary. You don't want to be like, this is so, I applaud you for that. And I would just say try to be as positive as possible and use the resources available. I'll be putting some of the links down here below as well so that you can start clicking and really preparing in case it does drag on for now, like the longest in history. And yeah, you got all of our prosperity partners prayers. There's thousands of us who are just loving up on you right now. So, all right, guys, if you have any questions for me, social@mnhfinancialservices.com, social@mnhfinancialservices.com. See you next time.